We have to begin today with our first bit of truly breaking news. America, Adrian Wojnarowski reports what legions of Sixers fans have been praying for. General Manager Bryan Colangelo has agreed to part ways with the team. I must admit that when I woke up today, I didn't know if this would happen, if this would ever happen maybe, but candlelight vigils had been held and the fear was simple. The Sixers would somehow mess up what seemed to be obvious to everybody else who did not own a stake in this team. Bomani, this is actually happening, finally. We have word that this will be termed a resignation, that Brett Brown is taking over operations in the meantime. The draft is approaching, but this face, which has loomed behind us for so long, is now gone.
Who's
it's
us?
Gone.
He ain't loomed behind me, never. Maybe you and the merry band of dorks that are really invested in this team and the executive class in that way. All right, so let's get this straight, though. His wife copped to establishing the accounts.
Yes.
She took the fall for her man, and he still got fired. Have fun with that when you get home, buddy.
The question of what responsibility Bryan Colangelo had to prevent his wife, who we now know that was her in the grassy knoll, right? The mystery has been solved, but did he have a responsibility to prevent this from happening? Could that have saved him? Should that have saved him?
No. First of all, just because your wife says she did it does not tell me that your wife actually did this, right? And I'll have to hear more on how certain they are. Just her walking in and taking the fall does not tell me that she is the one who did this. And again, we ride out with the same point. It doesn't matter if she sent the tweets or if Colangelo sent the tweets. She was in a position to send the tweets because of Colangelo. Therefore, you have to go. What it sounds like is they couldn't find a way in the paperwork to actually fire him, so we needed to call this a resignation because he clearly didn't want to quit. If he wanted to quit, he would have quit already.
The word around the league, well, there are two words. One of them was laughingstock. Everybody was laughing at Bryan Colangelo. I've been on the phone all week talking to people around the teams he used to work for, and everybody was on some sort of text chain sending memes. The second word, though, is family, because the Colangelos are the first family of the NBA, and the fear in the hearts of Sixers fans was that Adam Silver installed Jerry Colangelo to run the Sixers, to oust Sam Hinkie, allegedly, brought in Bryan, and they would have some sort of cozy relationship via USA Basketball and whatever else that would have made this man somehow stick around. And finally, we know that, no, the evidence was actually too much.
Yeah, now Chris Haynes of ESPN is reporting that the firm that did the investigation is putting it all on the wife. She is taking all the weight here, which once again, does not matter.
No, it does not.
Right, you are the one that has to go. But I think the part that had to make Sixers fans nervous about this, even if you wanted the Sixers to fire Colangelo, that then meant that the Sixers had to hire someone. And there is no reason to believe they have any idea what to do when it comes to hiring. Brett Brown just got the job in the interim. If they stick around with the coach as executive, that doesn't work. We just saw Stan Van Gundy, a better coach than Brett Brown, just flame out in Detroit, in part because of trying to do both of those jobs. So for the Sixers, yes, this is the part that had to be done. You had to get the laughingstock out of there. There's no reason to believe they're going to do anything right with these next steps.
I would be shocked, based on logic and what I've heard, I would be shocked if they didn't hire a real GM.
They're going to,
I think they're going to do that. The draft is approaching, free agency is approaching, and when we talk about why this had to happen this way, as suddenly as it feels now, it's because he couldn't do his job effectively. So why didn't it matter that it was his wife and not him, according to this statement we got? It matters because he still wasn't going to be very presidential looking to anybody else, and he still wasn't going to be generally managing the situation of this team very well when it came to talking to and talking about players.
He had a good 3 or 4 months of walking in the room and it being dead silent because everybody was just laughing right before you came in here. Well, what's so funny, guys? Did you watch The Office last night?
But that's what it would have been like.
Yes, it would have been like
imagine
that.
If he wasn't fired.
Well, I think perhaps as interesting as anything else
resigned.
Is that he fought this as long as he did. This was the only logical conclusion. It's like the Sixers dotted all the HR I's, crossing T's and stuff like that. But come on, bro. If you couldn't tell that you were gone, I see why you wasn't that good at being a general manager.
He got the maximum courtesy available to him this week.
Yes.
It's been 10 days. And by the way, maybe bring back Sam Hinkie. How about that? Yeah. How about that guy as a GM?
No.